Hello students, I'm really sorry due to some technical glitch, we had to stop our video. I'm going to continue with the lecture now. If you want to see the half part of this lecture, the link is available on YouTube. It was a 3:30 p.m. session of 13th November. And now we are going to take on the second part. Okay, I'm really sorry. There was some issue. Now students, where were we? Let's talk about that. So students, I had been talking about to you about like how you should go about with respect to understanding any particular topic from the Hindu, from the art and culture perspective. Okay. And under that, I was taking you through one article of today's newspaper, that is the Hindu dated 13th November. And the article that I had taken was The Men in Odissi from the Friday Review. Now, students, I was telling you that when you're looking at any particular classical dance, what are the topics that you need to analyze in your mind from the paper so that you understand that whatever points from this particular article are important. Under that, students, I had told you that you will remember the associated deities who are a part of any particular classical dance to whom this dance is dedicated. Then you will remember the themes, whether there are any social or religious themes that are depicted in the dance performance. Apart from that, students, you will see what is the classical status and when it was accorded to any particular dance. Apart from that, students, I had told you that whenever you are studying about any particular classical dance, you will see whether any sculptural depictions of that particular dance can be seen in the temple architecture in any particular given area. Apart from that, students, you will also remember some important features that are associated with the dance, that is whether it is performed by men or it is performed by women, whether it is performed by both, what are the kind of postures that are used in that particular dance. If they have any religious or cultural significance, then you have to remember that. Then students, you will also remember the musical instruments that accompany that classical dance. Okay. So keeping these points in mind, you are going to analyze any particular article from the classical dance perspective. And this is something that we are also going to take up in this particular article. Now, students, this particular article is titled as The Men in Odissi, and the article is taking us through the concept wherein how the dance Odissi, which was also performed by men in contemporary times, is dominated only by women, and how slowly and gradually a development has been taking place wherein there is a shift in the ideology of people, and even men again are now participating in the Odissi dance. Now, herein I would like to point out, students, that this trajectory is irrelevant for us from UPSC perspective because we need not know about how the dance is developing in contemporary times. That is not something that UPSC asks. Okay, rather there are certain points from the historical perspective that are given in this particular part of this article, which I have highlighted, which will be important for us from our preliminary perspective. Under that, students, the important points have been jotted down on your screen, and I will talk about them one by one so that you can understand that how you are going to go about every article after this video. Okay. Now, students, the first line itself in this article is introducing us to the deity to which this dance is associated. That is, Lord Nataraj is the creator of the Odissi dance. Okay. Apart from that, students, this article is telling us that when the classical status was accorded to the Odissi dance. So students, here in this article has told us that in 1958, Odissi was reconstructed as a classical dance form and the status finally was accorded to it in 1964. तो यहाँ पे हम देखेंगे कि दो इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट इस आर्टिकल में बता दिए हैं. इस तरह के क्वेश्चन यूपीएससी अपने स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस में पूछता भी है, इसलिए हमारे पास ये दोनों ही पॉइंट्स इंपॉर्टेंट है. Okay, so these are the two short points that you will take out while making your notes on the art and culture perspective. Apart from that, students, there is another important concept that has been tackled in this particular article. What is that? This particular article is telling us the sculptural evidences of male dancers in Odisha. Now, students, I had told you at the beginning of the discussion of this particular article that this article is giving us the trajectory how men are participating in the Odissi dance. So students, men were already a part of the Odissi dance. They were performing the Odissi dance and they were known as Gotipuas. Okay. And this is one concept which is also given here, and this is going to be also important. We are coming to that. First, we are going to talk about the sculptural evidences of these male dancers or Gotipuas that can be found in the temples of Odisha. These lines are exactly given in your article. You can note down them one by one because this language is also very easy and they are very important from your factual perspective. Okay. Now, students, this article is telling us that the Parshurameshwar temple in Bhubaneswar has the maximum number of sculptures which depicts the male dancers or the Gotipuas. Again, I must not, you must be understanding very clearly that this is an important factual statement. That is, there is a temple in Bhubaneswar, which is Parshurameshwaram temple, and it depicts a lot of sculptures pertaining to the male dancers of the Odissi dance. Okay. Apart from that, there are few other temples that are also depicting the male dancers, such as the Brahmeshwar temple, the Megheshwar temple, and the Kapileshwar temple. And herein it will be important to note that all these three temples are located in Bhubaneswar. Apart from the students, there are two other important temples that are depicting the sculptures of Odissi dancers. That is the Jagannath Puri temple and the Sun temple in Konark, Odisha. Now, students, here it will be important to note that the date in which these temples were constructed is also given in the article. That is between the 12th and 13th century, which is the medieval time period. Okay, so we have been given the names of the temples, the location of the temples, the time period of the temples, and the sculptures which are depicted in these temples. बहुत अच्छी information है, हमारे लिए UPSC के लिए बहुत important है. अलग अलग तरीके से ये इस तरह की इंफॉर्मेशन के ऊपर क्वेश्चन बन जाते हैं. जैसे कि आपको मैच द फॉलोइंग का, यू कैन ऑल्सो गेट अ क्वेश्चन ऑन मैच द फॉलोइंग, वेर इन यू माइट बी गिवन नेम्स ऑफ 3 temples and the locations of these 3 temples. Okay, and that is why such unknown temples, that is Brahmeshwar or Megheshwar temple, is something that you've read about in this article, so you can memorize in the exam. Okay, these are located in Odisha, particularly in Bhubaneswar. All right, so that is why such kind of information on the unknown aspects of temple architecture or regional architecture is covered in the Hindu articles, and that is why it is relevant for us. Okay, now students, as I've already told you, the male dancers are known as Gotipuas. So students, herein the ancient dance form of Gotipua performed by young boys dressed as girls is considered a precursor to Odissi. So students, this particular article is addressing how men known as Gotipuas used to perform Odissi earlier, and this particular dance of the Gotipuas is considered a precursor to the Odissi dance. That is, Odissi अपने prominent form, जो आज हम Odissi का form देख रहे हैं, जो develop हो गया है, उससे पहले Gotipuas जो dance करते थे, उसको एक precursor माना जाता है. उससे पहले ये dance tradition उड़ीसा के अंदर चलता था. Okay, so यहाँ पर students, we have seen what are the important sculptural evidences in the important temples of what time period. Apart from that, we have understood the concept of Gotipuas, how it is associated to Odissi, who are the Gotipuas, and how they are the precursors to the Odissi dance. Okay, अब ये सारे points के question कैसे बनते हैं, ये भी मैं आपको आगे वाली slide में समझाऊंगी. Now students, अब जब हमने ये आर्टिकल पढ़ा तो हमने देखा इसमें एक पासिंग रेफरेंस दिया हुआ है गोतिपुआस को. ओके, तो नेचुरली आपके माइंड में क्यूरियोसिटी आनी चाहिए दैट व्हाट इज गोतिपुआस. आई शुड रीड 2-3 लाइंस अबाउट गोतिपुआस बिकॉज यूपीएससी माइट आस्क, since it is specifically mentioned that Gotipua dance was the precursor to the Odissi dance. Okay, now keeping that in mind, you are going to Google quickly Gotipuas and get some relevant information for that. This is something that I have also done, and I have presented the same on the screen for your comfort. Okay, now Gotipua students, etymologically, etymology means the origin of any particular term. So etymologically, the Gotipua term in Odia means a single boy. However, the dance that is performed by Gotipuas is performed in groups. Apart from the students, it will be important to note that the origin or the starting point of the dance in Odisha, temple dance in Odisha, had female dancers who were known as Maharis. However, once the dance of these Maharis declined, then the Gotipuas came to the front center. यानी कि आप देखेंगे कि ओडिसी जो डांस है उसका जो एवोल्यूशन हुआ है वो 3 स्टेजेस में हुआ है. सबसे पहले देयर वर फीमेल टेम्पल डांसर्स, दैट इज महारीज, which was followed by the male dancers, that is the Gotipuas, and finally it culminated into the classical dance of Odissi from Odisha. Okay, so you can see how many important points are presented in this particular article. Now, students, as I've told you that initially there were female dancers, that is Maharis, who used to dance in the temples of Odisha and perform for Lord Jagannath. Herein, it will be important to note that the Maharis were chief repositories of this dance and they were temple dancers. As I've already told you that the dance of Maharis started declining after some point of time, and that is when the male dancers continued the tradition by dressing up as female dancers and they were known as the Gotipuas. तो आपने यहाँ पे ओडिसी का एवोल्यूशन समझ लिया. पहले महारीज थी जो कि फीमेल डांसर्स थी, टेम्पल डांसर्स थी. उनके डिक्लाइन होने के बाद में गोतीपुआज आए जो कि मेल डांसर्स थे, और फाइनली ये कल्मिनेट होकर ट्रेडिशन बना हमारा क्लासिकल ओडिसी डांस. ओके, so these were the most important aspects that were related to this particular topic. Now students, I am going to take you through one multiple choice questions so that you can understand that how the questions are made in UPSC, and it will make it more simpler for you guys to understand that what facts need to be remembered. Okay, so now students, I have made one question and it contains two statements and we need to identify that which among them are correct. Now, this particular question is pertaining to the Odissi dance. And the first statement says that the dance performed by the Maharis and Gotipuas evolved into the Odissi dance. Now, students, this is something that I've told you just now, that there was an evolution in the Odissi dance. It started with the dance of Maharis or the temple dancers. And once they declined, the space was taken up by Gotipuas or the male dancers. And that finally culminated into the Odissi dance. And that is why this statement is going to be correct, that yes, the dance performed by Maharis and Gotipuas later evolved into the Odissi dance. Okay. Now, the second statement says that the sculptures at the Kapileshwar temple in Puri depict the Gotipua dance. Now, students, this statement is going to be incorrect because you have to read this statement very carefully. Although the Kapileshwar temple indeed depicts the sculptures of the Gotipua dancers, but the Kapileshwar temple is not located in Puri, it is located in Bhubaneswar. Okay. So that is why sometimes when we are in a hurry, we tend to lose sight and we quickly read the important parts of a particular statement and see that it is correct, and tend to lose marks or get a negative marking. All right. And that is why you have to be very careful because UPSC tends to change facts so quickly that we don't realize that we have not read the statement properly. Okay. So from this, we can see that only the first statement is correct and therefore our final answer will be option A. तो स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ पे मैं अपना डिस्कशन कंप्लीट कर रही हूँ. My aim was to tell you that what are the important topics, which newspaper is important, what days are important, and if you manage to find good topics from the Hindu newspaper, how you are gonna analyze them from the UPSC perspective, in which you must be aware of the syllabus, the type of the previous year questions. That is going to give you a fair idea that what needs to be studied from any particular article. Okay. So students, with this, I have completed my discussion. Now I'm going to take up any questions that you guys have. Okay. Okay, hi Divine. Yes, I am in live session. And if you have any question, please do ask it. Sorry, we had to cut up our previous lecture in between. And this is the new link. You can share the same with your friends as well. And if you have any questions, please do ask. All right, students, I think because of the inconvenience that has been caused, wherein we have broken down the previous lecture, most of you have disconnected. However, I would like you to go through this particular video. If you have any questions, please put it down on the comments. I will be available and I'm going to solve each and every query of yours. Please put them down in the comment section. And students, if you like this video, please visit our app and our website, that is SkholarIAS. And don't forget to tap the bell icon for all the updates that we are putting on YouTube. Also share our YouTube channel with your friends. This is very relevant from UPSC perspective. We are going to keep coming with important videos from the UPSC perspective. Students, I would also like to make an announcement here that from the next month onwards, I am going to make one video which will be catering 5 to 6 important news of art and culture and history perspective from the previous month. That is, in the first week of December, I am going to bring up one video that will involve all the important topics that were covered as a part of current affairs in the November newspapers. All right, so stay tuned. Please subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon and share it with your friends. Thank you so much.